Hello everybody, it's Big Al with some more content for Lord of the Rings Rise to War. So today is going to be a short video on the three fort system compared to a tactical fort. So it all depends on where you're at on the front lines. I'm coming to you from the winter server, which is pretty much dead. So pretty much I have to just kind of explain instead of be able to actually show you on a war type system. So I'm going to go into my map. So as you see, I have three forts right here. Okay, and we're going to pretend that right here we are fighting is the battlefront where all the enemy is over here on this crossing, we are on this crossing. A lot of people like to use tactical forts because they have such a big capacity. Well, the thing is, by using a three fort system is a lot better for this reason. Say the enemy came across here and took out this fort, but say it was a tactical fort, or if they came around here and then they blocked you, okay, with tiles. Well, now you're out of the fight because everything's in that tactical fort or that one fort, and guess what? You can't move, you can't get to it, you're cut off. So, with the three fort system, I'm standing at the crossing and I have three in close range. I have two very close and one a little bit farther back. So when these are fully upgraded, they can hold 12,000 units. Okay, and this is what I'm using on Eowyn at this moment is Bow Knights, Cataphracts, and Swan Knights. So by doing it this way, I have all three of these forts. Okay, and I can reinforce within 2 to 3 minutes from all forts. Okay, so again, if the enemy came over and broke this fort, guess what? I'm not out of the fight because let me go to the map and show you, because I have these other two forts that are full and have troops inside of them. So no matter what the enemy does, if they push and they cut off one fort, I'm not out of the fight. I still have my reinforcements. And again, if it was a tactical fort, you're just screwed and you can't get any of your troops. So the way you do it is you put one fort close to the battlefront. Then you have one a little bit farther back at a different angle that is harder to be cut off. And then the third one, you put it back just a little bit farther and even a harder position to be cut off. That way you always are able to get troops. So I could hit the crossing if there was armies over here, and then I could refill from this fort or the farther back fort. Well, here's the thing. As soon as you reinforce from one of the forts, you go back to your base and you should already have transport commanders set up. Like I have Merry and Pip and Theoden. So, because I have them set up already, I took some troops out. I'm just going to transport back in. And you will almost never be able to run out of troops. As long as you have two transports inside your base, you have the three forts, I can just keep hitting, pulling back, reinforcing, hit again. And as soon as I hit reinforce, I send a transport to fill that to fill that fort. I know it sounds easy and oh, that's just nothing special. But believe it or not, most people don't realize that with the three fort system, the enemy's going to have to push a long way to cut you off. It's going to cost you one less ability point to make three forts. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the first level of a tactical fort is only 24,000 troops. So you'd still have to upgrade the tactical fort on top of it to get the amount of troops that you have here. My good friend King Under the Mountain is the one that perfected the three fort system. I used to use 2, and then I showed him that he went one step above, and he perfected how you do the 3-fort system. Again, it's a little harder to do because everything's just being explained and not being able to show you correctly. But hopefully you get the idea of what you need to do with the 3-fort system at a battlefront so that you are never out of the fight. And the other good thing is you want to set up, like on this situation where we're at the crossing and my fort's only 5 tiles away, you want to put your fighter connected to the second closest fort. That way, if your commander dies, he goes back to that fort. Because if they're pushing and they get to this and you die, they could break your fort before you become alive again and send you all the way home. So I hope that makes sense. As always, make the most out of what you got.